And so it has begun. The final of the final battles. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. Another fun fact, here we are to do a breakdown / live reaction review and analysis of chapter 240 of Sakamoto which is known as, I don't know. But I am noticing that, because of the color cover page, that this is, in fact, a kind of thick chapter. The last couple chapters have been like 16 pages to 18 pages. So I'm assuming Suzuki Sensei's just really, really busy, because I think there's the live action Sakamotodays that he's working on. He's probably helping with the next core of the anime. Obviously, just being mangaka is hard. So he's probably been very, very busy. So I'm glad we're getting at least a kind of getting a thick chapter, or at least presumably like a full 20-page chapter, because with this being 26 pages, I'm assuming the first two is probably going to be this color cover page and probably like a full double spread color page, and then the rest would be the regular 20-page chapter. So overall, I'm very excited. I literally was spawn camping the chapter release this week because I was dodging spoilers all week for other series I need to review today. So I don't even know what the color cover page is. I'm not sure if this is at the top because I literally just clicked on this. But with that being the case, I'm excited. Let's not waste more time. Let's hop right into it. Let's celebrate! It's the 5th anniversary of Sakamoto Days, so we're doing a special campaign. Is it really? It's only... I guess it makes... Yeah, 5 years. I think so. Yeah, Sakamoto Days did come out to 20... Man, time's flying. Man, I'm getting... Oh, let's see. We're doing a special campaign. What a poor Lou. Lou, I can't believe he's getting to bail you out against nameless random fodder. Lou, you're so bugs. I'm sorry. Not relevant. It just hurts every time I see this character. My eyes, they cry tears of agony. Let's see. What are we doing? Oh, Lou, I can't read. Why is he sweating? Hold on. Oh, Lou, it's awesome this year. Why is he sweating so much? For the 5th anniversary, we're doing 5 projects. 5? That's why you're tired. I mean, like, I know it's a fantastic thing to celebrate. A lot of series in this day and age don't even make it to like their first year of publication. I've seen so many series coming to Shonen Jump and be canceled in like the first 25 chapters. But man, 5 projects? I hope these are projects like fans do or something. I hope you aren't actually working on 5 projects at once. That's crazy. Let's see. For the 5th anniversary, we're doing 5 projects, and each of them are super deluxe. Check out the insane 5th anniversary projects on the following pages. Info on anniversary projects are in the Japanese print release, weekly Shonen Jump. Okay, yeah, once again, exclusive to that. That's fine. There are a bunch of like the whole voting thing. I don't think like a majority of Shonen Jump readers in the U.S. can actually do. Like, you do need like the official. You need to go over to Japan and like vote properly there, which I think is fine. Let's see. It's also why I always get like generally confused on how certain characters are received, because I don't have like a tap in to the Japanese side of many of the narratives I cover. So like, I read certain characters' levels of popularity based on my interaction with the fandom here in the Western side of the world. Then like I go over to, or at least I hear and I look at the like official poll results and stuff like that, and like they're if not completely different, they're very different from what is contextualized over here, which I think is a cool thing. I do want to figure out a way to get more tapped in to see what they are thinking as well, because different perspectives is always cool. Though admittedly, my opinion on certain characters and their popularity, or like how much I like them relative to how much they like my other characters, is also very, very different. So I have my own different perspective, and then there's like the general Western perspective, and then there's the Japanese perspective, which are typically 3 different things, but sometimes they overlap. Let's see. On the following pages. All right. Oh, chapter 240, Pride. All right, this is a very interesting color cover page. We got Heisuke, we got Pisuke. Pisuke's yellow? I don't know why I had Pisuke as, like, white. I think it's because he's a manga man. That's why. I did not know he had this color scheme. Man, tell you that I don't watch the anime, but let's see. We have Shin, Nagumo. Nagumo actually looks quite pensive or surprised here. This is rare for Nagumo. Let's see. We have Ao, Hana, Sakamoto himself. I was gonna hold on. I'll make a comment on this in a second. Then why is he holding a 50% offside for Shishiba and then Osaragi? All right. Very, very, very nice. Very, very nice color cover page. Chapter 240, Pride. But I do want to say something real quick. I'm glad that Sakamoto at least gets some of his iconography still on occasion, in terms of this in particular, because I don't think we've actually seen Sakamoto in manga since the museum arc. Right? Because he slims down against Takamura, and then he never thickens back up. I don't think he ever does. Because notably, he's meant to be like in a serious training arc right after that. Then that goes nowhere. Actually, no, it goes somewhere. He gets beat by Taurus 5 times. And then he comes to the prison after Shin and crew escape. Then he thinks that Ao and Hana and Lu get boomed. Then he loses his will to fight. Then he fights anyway, kind of, sort of, or at least stalls, and then goes into the coma. So we haven't seen Sakamoto in like, when did the prison arc end? In fact, luckily enough, I do low-key have a pathway to check this. Let me see. We may not have seen Sakamoto in, hold on, let the playlist load. Let me go back in time. The Sakamoto days. I want to fact check myself. I want to say like a year and a half, maybe, but it may be, I may be gassing it too much because we're on chapter 240. Was the prison arc back still in the 100s? Hold on, let me see. Where are you? Sakamoto days. I know what the cover of your playlist is. I update it every week. Where are you? I need to clean up the channel. I need to go. Man, I've had 9 reviews of Sakamoto days. But I need to clean up the channel. Let me see. Old and new. Oh, hold on. Let me go back. Because the last time, yep, we had that flashback. I'm looking. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So it is somewhere around here. Well, actually, no, it has to be before that, because he slims down during the prison arc. So let me go back to the prison. Okay. So I think the last time we seen Sakamoto, it was seemingly a whole year ago. Because, if I'm not mistaken, let me just click on this to make sure. Which one is this? 164? 164? Okay, so it actually has been nearly 2 years. Like, the review saying 1 year ago. It was in April 2024. So it's been like a year, nearly 2 years since we've last seen Sakamoto actually in narrative. Because he slims down in chapter 164, and we never see him picking up again. So, actually, it's kind of crazy to think about that he's been removed from the narrative for that long. But he still is a massive part of the series iconography. Remember, the mustache that is a common part of the title of the series is literally exclusive to Sakamoto. Sakamoto doesn't have that. Even the glasses at this point have kind of become, which are also a major part of the logo and kind of like match the O's, don't really exist on Sakamoto. We rarely see, well, actually, in the past we see more glasses, but modern Sakamoto doesn't really wear glasses. So still, overall, W color cover page. I hope Sugi Sensei gets some rest. Hope it's like a fan thing for the projects and celebration. Let's hop into chapter 240 though. Pride. Okay. Shin versus Tanabata is still very, very weird. Like, I am glad I'm not the only one. When I did the poll, I was like, I was hoping people would notice. I said, which one are you least excited for, not most excited for? And it seems like there were people in the comments who were like, there's nothing. It was Union. He was like, there's like nothing going on between Shin and Tanabata. Which is so true. Like, it is mad random. Very much Bakugo versus All for One code. Like, why are we doing this? Why now? Like, what do we... I mean, I guess they're 2 available characters who need to fight, I guess. But, like, no dynamics at all. Let's see. Shin. Then we have Gozu and... Ooh, you're looking a little rough here, Gozu. And Shishiba. Boiled versus a random fodder. Boiled and Wu-Tang versus random fodder. And looks like we still have some random fodder launching shots at the helicopter. Let's see. Hey, Sakamoto's up there, right? We'll blast him away and collect the bounty. Oh yeah, I guess he would still have a bounty. How much does money mean in this world, though? Like, can't you just rob people? Let's see. Oh no! Shin, I know you're immortal to Dragonist Man, but you still definitely do need to fight the top tier that's in front of you. Suzuki Sensei, remember to draw him this time. I'm sorry, you can't run from this fight, Shin. Let's see. Darn. Oh, okay. All right. Boiled, why did you not stop that? Well, to be fair, no, but this is the guy that was with the main group, right? Because Shin let down last chapter in order to stop Tanabata from launching off a shot from his guitar, weirdly, that he could do. But, like, Boiled, I thought you were fighting these guys. I thought you, in fact, yeah, I'm being that petty. I'm going back and checking. Let's see, yeah. These are the guys that appeared on the road, and then Boiled showed up and punched them. So, yeah, like, Boiled. You're supposed to clutch up, Boiled. How did you go from clutching up to immediately fumbling the bag, Boiled? Please, Boiled, please. Let's see. All right. So I guess they're not making it back to the JCC, which is fine. Like, notably, we know there is a fight going on at the JCC, so it's not like that's even a safe place to go to. But I don't think they do. Well, no, they would know that. Amane and Tomato would have to know that because they just came from there. So I don't know. Let's see. Oh, Sakamoto, Shishiba, aren't you in the middle of a building right now, bro? How are you seeing this? Let's see. They got the main rotor. No, there goes the steering. Dot dot dot. Sweetie. Realize. Ow, this is all your. If you had just driven the darn car. If you had just driven the darn car. Let's see. Sweetie. Oh. Oh, so we are cutting back. So has he just been chilling here? I mean, like, you know what, dreams and like how real this is, all that. Dream timing is weird. Like, really, like, I don't know. I don't dream often. I used to have nightmares a lot when I was younger, when I was a kid. And I don't dream often. But when I do, the time flow is mad weird. Because, like, typically, I try to sleep for, like, 8 hours or more. But, you know, sometimes your boy gets, like, 6 to 8. I try to at least fit in that range. I don't try to run off 5 hours of sleep. It's very, very dangerous. But in those time periods, like, that much time is happening. But in dreams, I've lived, like, lifetimes. Like, legit. Whole, like, and, like, I've gotten old and gray. And my grandkids will look at me and be like, Grandpa, don't leave. And I'll be like, what do you mean, don't leave? Don't put me in the grave just yet. And like, no, you're gonna wake up. And I'm like, wake up. And I wake up. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I know at least a couple people have had that like existential crisis where you live through your entire life, and then it's like, oh, that was all fake. Oh, I'm not actually married. Oh, my wife and kids, they didn't exist. Like it is one of those kinds of things. And then sometimes I have dreams that last like 2 seconds. Like, there was a dream I had. I was just fighting somebody for some reason. I have no idea why. And then I woke up. I lost, mind you. I don't know what my subconscious has against me. Either it's giving me full lifelong experiences in dreams, and then it's like, wake up. Well, then it gives me like, I'll go through like a full regular work day, and then wake up tired to actually have to go to work, which also sucks. Or then I'll just fight and lose. I've lucid dreamed on like 3 times that I actually remember. I just get washed in my dreams. I don't know what it is. But, all to be the case, I guess it makes sense that not much has actually happened in this time flow, because like, Sakamoto's been comatose for a little bit, but at the same time, time flow is random in dreams. At least he's presumably dreaming. Let's see. Oh, that's right. Wait, no. This is not Sakamoto. See, it's been a minute, so I haven't voiced him a little bit. Oh, that's right. I need to get back. But what? Rion is dead. What is with you inside? What is with you in Dogma? The woman is gone. The woman is gone. What do you mean? What? I mean, like, obviously, you know, maybe this is actually the real Rion soul, complicated things. I don't know. Sakamoto doesn't have a power system, but like, that's it. That's how it's like, this probably shouldn't be happening, but at the same time, there are superhuman characters in this universe, so I guess it could work. Let's see. But a cow. Hey, a cow. Can I beat Uzuki and his gang? No, you shouldn't be able to! You should get low diff by Taurus! Let's see. Let me stop. Let's see. A cow. Can I beat Uzuki and his gang? How should I know? You're too stupid to be wasting your time worrying about stuff. Hey, shut up! You're real cheeky for a dead person. So, like, yeah, that's how I know. And funnily enough, as I've mentioned this in other videos before, I have had dreams about people who have passed away. It is strange. I mean, I'm happy that my brain is still able to register their voice without looking at a video of them, which is very, very nice. Like, I'm able to still remember what their voice sounds like and their personality. But it is very, like, I don't know. It's interesting because Sakamoto, he's still young, right? Like, he's, like, what? Late 20s? But at least for me, I've aged relative to the person who has passed away. So, like, whenever they show up in a dream, to me, it signifies that, oh, this isn't real. And it is very strange, like, to acknowledge that. And then they just appear. And, like, I don't know. I don't take dreams as literally some people like, oh, you're communicating with the afterlife, or you're literally seeing the future and stuff like that. I just think the brain's being weird, because subconscious is a thing. But still, it is always, like, strange to acknowledge, oh, yeah, I am communicating with you, but I'm communicating with a manifestation of you born of my own memory. It is strange. Let's see. Shut up! Wait, no. I need to work on Sakamoto's voice. It's been so long. Let's see. Shut up. You're real cheeky for a dead person. I'm asking a serious question. Why would she know, though? Why would she know? She's been... Let's see. I'm asking a serious question. Okay. Look, Sakamoto, we don't have noses. Why? This is so... Like, the one excuse I've heard is like, well, you know, it's the same excuse for, man, it's crazy to think how old Three Houses is now. What, Three Houses came out in, like, what, 2018? Like, that's wild. Three Houses. No, it's 2018. But, regardless, sorry. In Fire Emblem Three Houses, a lot of the ending CGs get a lot of flack, because whenever the characters are front-facing, they have no nose. And, like, not even in no nose as in, like, oh, you know, there's a tiny line that negates. No, like, just generally, no, it's very weird. Even for, like, the most major characters in the game, Edelgard, like, one of the 3 titular characters of the Three Houses, her ending CG, nothing. And, like, I get it. It is kind of tedious to draw a nose head on, but, like, it is just weird. Like I had to say the nose is the center point of the face for a reason. So like whenever you're looking head on at a character and they have no nose, I don't know if it's just me as like an artist thing, but I always look to the center of the face, and it doesn't help that as an artist I typically draw the nose first, then like guide everything around it, because I go from like center and then like branch out. Like I'll draw the head, and then the first details I'll draw on the head is like the nose. So I'd use the nose as like the guiding point to where everything else is, like the ears, stuff like that. So like I don't know, it's always very weird to me when I see these characters drawn without nose. I can't help it. And now that I've noticed it, I can't help but notice it in every series I review. It is a very consistent thing, and I don't know why. Let's see. Look, Sakamoto. Oh, all right, and they're changing positions. Okay. Let's see. How was it living an ordinary life? Oh, okay. So she's essentially acting as like a self-reflection for him. Let's see. It was exciting and fun. It's been full of happy moments. I never could have imagined when I was a hitman. That's nice, though. That's the thing, right? Like, Sakamoto, the core of Sakamoto Days, the idea of a man as monstrous as he was choosing a normal life. I think it is. Like, that core concept is why I think Sakamoto Days has been able to survive and expand and develop as much as it has. Because it is innately a weirdly human concept, right? Abandoning what once was to discover something new is kind of like a big part of life in general. Almost like, I mean, you can stay in the same place for a long time, but things will always change around you, even in that same place. So it's interesting. Let's see. I never could have imagined when I was a hitman, but maybe I've lost my edge. Now I'm just terrified of losing everyone. And that is also a very real fear. Like, that, not even like, and it's funny, right? Sakamoto truly, despite, it being Shin days on occasion, Asakura days, Sakamoto is truly the core of Sakamoto Days, not just because he's a titular character, but also because he deals with like a real human thing in that moment, right? As much as they don't like the idea of Sakamoto in the midst of a training arc not actually getting any stronger and then going into a coma and now coming back to be super strong as he probably will by the end of this chapter, all that aside, I do sit and understand the core conflict of Sakamoto that put him in this weird comatose state, or put him in a place where he could get put in the weird comatose state, because there is something like just worrying. Like it's the matter of like overthinking life, but I understand why people, and hey, I'm people, do it. It's like the matter of, man, life is so fragile. It's not incorporeal in a sense, but like it can be over in an instant. At any second, the body can just fail. You can just step down the stairs the wrong way, hit your neck the wrong way, and you're gone. That can happen to anyone. Obviously, probabilities increase, but like I've seen it happen to people that, in all intents and purposes, it shouldn't have happened to. Life is absurd in many different ways. And like the struggle of Sakamoto, someone who is still, in spite of him leaving the Hitman world, so still deeply steeped in it, and the fear that comes with losing all those connections you come to cherish, that is like a real thing that people go through every single day. The idea that at any moment a person who could be a major part of your entire world could just cease to exist. It's really rough, and it's a really core human fear. I think that's good. Let's see. I'm just terrified of losing everyone. Maybe I should have never tasted regular life. Well, okay, I'm not even going to go into it because Rion's clearly going into it. Let's see. You're a real moron. You know that, right? What? What did you learn from that life? What did you get out of it? What? Hold on. Ah! No, wrong thing! Wrong thing! I hit the wrong thing! No! Please! Let's see. What did you get out of it? What? You learned and experienced stuff. I never did. That's your strength now. How does that help me fight? Well, motivation. Like, I think... Like, I don't know. Obviously, I am not fighting in the assassin world, but I do think a lot of the most core motivations for me, a lot of them are just like, I do it for the love of the game. A lot of anything related to me yapping is a lot of me doing it for the love of the game because I like the yap. But I do think a lot of the separate conceits I have, like, okay, I want to strength train every single day. Okay, I want to make sure I maintain a healthy physical form. I want to make sure I'm there for the people I care about. Like, it is truly connection that, shockingly enough, will make humans, a notably very social species, stronger, right? I'm not saying it's impossible for people to like being alone more than being with other people. Introverted people do exist. As a person who is relatively ambiverted, who loves interacting with people but occasionally will just like to disappear for a little bit, I understand the idea of introversion and staying separate. But I also do think absence makes the heart grow fonder in many ways, for many humans. And thusly, when you have those connections, they almost give you a reason to keep going, right? Like even if you can't muster the nerve to do something for yourself, you're going to do it for other people. Even if you don't like the way something's going, you're going to do it for someone else. And of course, that can be unhealthy in some cases if you go too far for other people. But at the same time, it is a good, healthy motivator, right? So when Sakamoto asks, how's it help you fight? It gives you the motivation to fight. Back in the day, Sakamoto just fought for the bag, for the money, because he had to. Now he fights to protect that what she cherishes, that what she loves. I'm assuming that's what Rion's trying to teach him. Let's see. Hey, listen, Sakamoto. Mizuki and I tried to lead regular lives at one point, but we failed. Okay, so this must be real. He like, I don't think Sakamoto would know this. Like, this is he must actually be legitimately communicating with Rion's soul. So, Sakamoto's afterlife? Limbo? Must be a real thing. Cause I don't think, like, why would she, how would he know that? I don't think Sakamoto would know this. So this has to be, like, a real thing. Let's see. But we failed. We must have been doing it wrong. But we weren't wrong to try. Win the fight and prove it. Okay. Going core to the idea of the battle of ideals, right? Where ultimately Uzuki, thanks to losing the fight to live a regular life, thanks to, I forget, it's been so long, Azaki? What's the guy's name? The leader of the JAA. Sakamoto Days? I feel like that's wrong. Sakamoto Days. Seiyasaki? Yeah, no, I was right. Seiyasaki, right? Essentially Uzuki's older brother, right? He was the reason that everything went wrong for him in many ways, shapes, and forms. And, just the assassin world itself, both of them trying to work for it, ended up leading to them destroying each other, right? Because Uzuki was the one who took Rion's life in the end of it all. So, like, it is, they did technically live it wrong in a quote-unquote way. And thusly, because of that, it led to a development for Uzuki being like, okay, I clearly can't live a normal life, and I hate the other people who can live a normal life. So let me just make sure that everyone knows that they're animals and false, and everything that they believe in is a lie, and thusly they will all slaughter each other without remorse. And in many ways, Suzuki has been proven right so far. Like, humanity hasn't been doing all too good in Sakamoto Days in terms of, like, fighting against Suzuki's belief. No, they're feeding into it relatively heavily. But now, essentially, Rion, I'm assuming her literal spirit is being like, hey, win the fight and prove him wrong, prove us wrong, and prove you right. In the Battle of Ideals, can people who were raised to do acts of darkness move onto a light-filled life? Technically, that's what the battle is now about for Sakamoto. At the core of it is the Battle of Ideals, which I think is good. I think every good narrative at its fundamental core, despite, especially battle manga in general, right? It's fundamental battle of ideals. And I do like the almost, like, not necessarily small scale, but especially for, like, major series like Sakamoto Days, they typically end somehow fighting some sort of deity, right? Like, think about how Bleach ends, think about how One Piece is gearing up to end, think about how Naruto ended. It's like, you're literally fighting destiny and fate itself in many ways and shapes and forms. But in this case, it's just fighting, like, the world. But not, like, the world as in the entire planet, but the world as in the worlds you choose, the worlds you make, the worlds you create, with the people you choose to create those worlds with. I think that's nice. Let's see. Win the fight and prove it. Can I win? Remember what I told you? The more people you care about protecting, the stronger you are. For you, much more than me. And like, see, I'm not gonna like that he's gonna come back super duper crack, but if that is the thematic idea, like the idea of very much your friends are your power, those you care for give you strength. I agree with that. That's why I'm such a big Kingdom Hearts fan. I do agree your friends are literally your power. So like legally speaking, like I'm not diametrically opposed to this. I'm not mad. But like, fine. All right, let's see. For you, much more than me, and that is accurate, right? Rion had what? Akira, and then Uzuki. That was it. Sakamoto, he has Shin, he has Ao, he has Ana, he has Ao, he has Hana, he has Heisuke, he has Pisuke, he has Alu, he has Wu-Tang, he has Boils, he has Nagamo, he has so many different connections. I feel like I'm missing someone very important there, but I don't remember. But essentially, he has all these people who he genuinely cares about, and he because of that, he can be ever stronger than Rion ever was. And it's very specifically the idea that Uzuki will try to use the remnants of Rion the wrong way, and that will fall to Sakamoto, who is embodying Rion's beliefs further, more accurately. So let's see. Anyway, you should get going. I'll take care of your wounds for a while. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Let's see. Huh? A cow? Oh, and one more thing. Don't worry about the cow inside of Uzuki. She's just a figment of his imagination. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, that's... I talk about this a lot. Shockingly enough, it is very prevalent in a lot of... Or at least a lot of, as in Sakamoto and Fortnites. But, like, the idea of someone embodying or wearing the face of someone you once loved. If anything... I don't, like, I know, I mean, I think I more so understand, rather than, like, directly agree with how Nagamo and Sakamoto are struggling with Uzuki sounding and looking and acting like Rion. Even though he doesn't really look like her, but just at least the eyes match, right? I can't, oh, man, like, if someone were to wear the face of my loved one, and it's just a claim to literally be them, have the real, like, I would be so, I don't know. I think I would respond more with anger than shock. I'd be like, oh, maybe we should spare, no! You're desecrating the memory of the person I actually cared about. Let them rest. You wielding them and their name and their body and everything in any way, shape, or form that you can. That's like that's the greatest insult you could ever give me. So I'm glad Akao is being like, hey, that's not me for real, for real. I'm here in the spirit limbo world and I'm going to take care of your injuries. I don't know. But that, boom him. Let's see. She's just a figment of his imagination. Pitiful jerk can't even fully embrace evil. Do something about him, okay? Interesting, once again, interesting that she says, do something about him. She doesn't say, which I do think is core, right? I think ultimately Sakamoto not taking another life is still important. But it's like, are they just gonna throw Uzuki in jail? Someone's gonna boom. Nagamo's gonna boom. Someone's gonna boom, right? Like, no way. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, and tell Akira. Like, I don't know why I keep calling her Akira, and then when her name's just Akira. I don't know what it is. Let's see. Oh, and tell Akira not to worry about revenge. Tell her to have fun wearing cute clothes and eating yummy food. Aw. She still cares for her niece. Who hasn't showed up in a while. We haven't seen Akira and Kanaguri in a little bit. It was like back right when the Spagutas were first handed out. That's when we last saw them. Let's see. Right. Wait, you up and blick on Sakamoto or yourself? Okay. Very, very, she's up and blick on him. The healing blick of doom and despair, I guess? Let's see. Hey. Thanks. Okay. Why is he mogging right now? But see, look at this. Look at this. A front-facing shot. He has it. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. Look at this. Front-facing shot. Literally. The most front-facing shot is magical. See how Ice 11 knows and see how Sakamoto still has a nose? You can do front-facing shots and still give characters noses. I don't know why they hesitate so much. Let's see. Thanks. Okay. Look at the jawline. Look at the jaw. Let's see. Thanks. Okay. Later, pal. Take this. Alright, so yeah, I guess she is, like, beyond, like, man, Sakamoto days, while it may not have a power system, it sure do have powers. It sure do have powers. And, like, I'll admit, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I don't know. I much prefer, at least, like, give me a soft magic system, at least. Sakamoto days, I guess it technically does have a soft magic system, but it's, like, a little too soft. It's, like, it's not Play-Doh consistency, it's, like, batter consistency. Like, you put your fingers in it, and it sticks, and it gets everywhere. At least with Play-Doh, like, you could mold it, and it'll stay somewhat solid. I don't know, Sakamoto days, they just be wildin'. Let's see. Later, pal. Take this. Bang, darn. Woo! Bullseye! I mean, like, these ugly body characters. So he said to you, monster. Let's see. Sakamoto! I just don't care about you. I really don't like you. I do not like you. I even forget your name right now. That's bad. That's so much I don't like you. What is your name? I literally made a poll about you not 2 seconds ago. Akira's ringing in my head, but that's not Akira. What is her name? Am I stupid? I'm stupid. What is her name? What is her name? Am I dumb? Did I seriously go to the last chapter? Atari! There we go! I had to click. I didn't even have to go rewatch. I just had to click on the last chapter and be like, what is her name? I'm so stupid. Let's see. Oh no, Atari, if only you didn't exist. Let's see. Boom! Oh! Toromaru. And Mane, neither of you could try and save him. Like, I know Sakamoto's gonna wake up and save them and be the strongest in the verse now, magically. But, still, let's see. Sakamoto! Ow! Oh, darn, Toromaru got diffed? Jeez, Toromaru. I mean, you weren't never, like, hey, a top tier or anything, but you weren't this bummy. Let's see. How pathetic. Shishiba, hammer him in the face. Let's see. I see Gozu. you feed the oral lobs of these other characters. Gozu, you're actually a traitor, bro. You're actually an in-narrative traitor. Because let me guess, the oral lob is crazy. Okay, Tanabata and Shin just standing around, I guess. Ding. Okay, so yeah, he hears Sakamoto's thoughts. Welcome back. What? 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 Why is he thick? How many calories are in that bullet? What? Huh? He moving just like me though. But what? Okay, I guess he's once again I mentioned earlier, Sakamoto not necessarily like appearing that often and missing his iconography of like the glasses and the stash, but here we go. He has again. Let's see. Sakamotodays is just magic. Let me not ask you any questions. I guess. All right. He saved his wife and he saved his daughter. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. But see, once again, I can't. Where's your nose? But I can't give full passes to this. It's very much like the same issue I had 2 chapters ago, where Shin was like, "Man, I can't tell if your luck is really good or bad." Using Shin to lampshade the fact that your story makes no sense doesn't make your story better. It makes it worse. Because that's it. Like, if you punch me in the face and then run away, that's one thing, right? Like, I may not be able to catch you. I may be staggered too much to chase you. I may be confused on why you randomly punch me in the face, and then you may slip away. But if you punch me in the face, grab me by the shoulder, look me in the eyes, and say, "Yeah, I'm punching you in the face," and I just did, and I will do it again, then I'm gonna be like, okay, then run my fade. Like that's how I feel about it. Like, why is he big again? Let's see. Mr. Sakamoto? But wait, how come he's fat again? Sweetie, good morning, Papa. Hana's just here for the ride, dog. Hana, the only untainted character. She's just vibing. Let's see. Good morning, Papa. And he lands. Yeah, he's thick. Okay, I guess. That's Torch is like, what is happening? Torch just like me for real. Except he's now cozy because he followed you. Hey, Osaragi, where's your nose too? See, you know what? Here, in a moment like this, I'll excuse no nose, right? It is so tiny. Like, it is literally small. Like, I'm covering her entire face. Hold on. Let me click off and then click back on so my cursor will actually be. There we go. I'm covering her entire face with the cursor, right? Like basically, that's fine. No nose is fine here. Why does she not have a nose here? It looks so weird. Though admittedly, Osaragi is so commonly drawn without a nose, this actually looks more normal to me. But with it being the case, interesting. He lands in the middle of Osaragi and Torres' fight. Okay. I mean, like, Sakamoto technically has more beef with Torres, so it makes more sense than for Osaragi to fight Torres, but interesting. Let's see. Huh? Sakamoto? You're awake? Why are you sweating, Torres? You dipped this man while he was slim. You should. I know it's not gonna happen. I know it's not like it's a battle manga. Why is it like I can't? Sorry, I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened. I've been seeing more and more this common consensus, and I think ultimately this is definitely me coming from a biased perspective, as I am a power skiller myself. But I've seen this common consensus going around. A lot of people are agreeing on it, which I think is just kind of. I'm not gonna teach their own. Everyone's fine to have their own opinions, including wrong ones. Look at me. But the common sentiment is now becoming that power scaling doesn't matter in general, right? Like in narratives, whether they be comics is what I'm commonly hearing this in, but it's even like drifting over to like the manga side of things, where like people who consume stories like, oh, power scaling doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if it's inconsistent, whatever, as long as the story's good. But I think a lot of people fail to understand, especially for series that are heavily based around combat, bad power scaling makes the narrative worse because it makes it inconsistent. Just as bad as character inconsistencies, just as bad as plot inconsistencies, when your story is heavily built around battle, to sit here and say that power scaling is irrelevant is actually kind of crazy. Do I think that the super high levels of power scaling are kind of irrelevant in a narrative, and that mangaka don't think about it? Absolutely, right? Gege even admits themselves, right? The Gege comes to mind just because the JJK is so fun to power scale because how controversial it is. But did Gege at all think about having a character reacting to lightning kind of sort of by an interpretation in one colony, and then immediately in the next colony, supposedly one of the strongest and fastest characters in the verse getting blitzed by Mach 3? No! He didn't think about that. It's still weird though, but he didn't think about that. It's weird, but he didn't think about that. I don't think mangaka think about like the speed of sound versus the speed of lightning versus the speed of light. I don't think they think about that. But what I think is important is that the characters are still relatively consistent in terms of where they scale power-wise in their respective battle manga. I think that is important. And ultimately, whenever you do something like this, like Sakamoto's really going to diff Taurus or something, right? Taurus is now scared of Sakamoto, even though he diffed, or Thematic, even though he diffed Sakamoto numerous times over. It just doesn't make sense, and it doesn't feel satisfying, right? The reason that many of Gon's victories in Hunter x Hunter feel satisfying is because we saw the boy either make the sacrifices to reach levels of power where he could win a fight, or do something so crazy, or do the training. It feels satisfying because there's build-up and logic to his development and power that leads to a victory in a fight. That's good. That's good, solid shonen battle writing. Same thing for a case like Magi, where we see Aladdin's progression throughout the narrative to reach the point where he does by endgame, and we know each and every single individual point, and there's no major contradictions in it, if any contradictions at all. That is good, consistent narrative power clipping and power development and power development. Or I say power development twice. That's good progression of your power scaling. It's consistent, it's linear, it just adds to the story, because power growth is, especially in battle shonen, or just battle stories in general, stories that heavily feature fights, does make sense. It's actually a good thing when your power scaling is consistent. It elevates your narrative. When it's inconsistent, it drops it off a cliff and makes it weird. It makes me look at the characters in the universe and be like, do they all have amnesia? Am I meant to have amnesia? Am I the problem? Like, am I the issue for remembering the story you wrote? That's what it feels like. And that's what I feel like a lot of people say, power scaling doesn't matter. But it does. It is core to every narrative, not even just the battle shonen. If a character has more prevalence than another and you can recognize that, guess what? That's narrative and character weight power scaling. One character has more influence or power within the narrative versus another. Power scaling is in every single story. The second you show me a story without power scaling, you don't even show me a story anymore. You show me meaningless words. You may not even be able to show that, because words will have more influence over that. Power scaling is prevalent, it's everywhere, it's built into the narrative, and it's very, very important to maintain a consistent feel within your story. Sakamotodays, it just yells we ball. And the sad thing is, it didn't do that before, right? Like, it really didn't. It was truly the Uzukimura incident that kind of like, okay, we don't care anymore. And that's bad. Let's see. Who knows? Maybe Taurus will diff Sakamoto again, because he's thick now. I don't know how he did that. Once again, that astral bullet must have had 1 billion calories. Let's see. Sakamoto, you're awake. As usual, your timing sucks. Yeah, he's about to diff him, even while he's thick. Alright, though. Cool. I guess he's robbing a store. Okay. Why is he like towards? Why are you sweating, dog? Well, he was just fighting with Saragi. Interesting though. He immediately went to get a shirt though. I get that. You know, you don't want to have the meat hanging out. I get it. Let's see. As usual, your timing sucks. Sorry, I know you just woke up, but time to go night again. All right. Let's see Sakamoto just violate base Torres, or just full power Torres. Let's see. Swoop. He pulls out the air cannon. All right. Let's see Sakamoto blitz him and one tap him. There we go. He bites down on the air cannon and blows air into it. And then blows it. He literally blows the air cannon out. Alright. Oh no, not air cannon, sandblaster. He busted my sandblaster with his breath? Hey, yep, there we go. I slept a bunch, so I'm feeling good. Get ready, all of you. Okay. There are two wolves fighting inside me. there are two wolves fighting inside me. You may notice, I have the sword, and I'm clearly thinking about it. It doesn't make any sense, though. It doesn't. Okay. Let me be a man of two minds real quick. Because they're like I said, there are always two wolves fighting inside me. One of the wolves is the guy who cares about narrative consistency and power scaling and logic in stories. Because I think that's a very important part to actually writing good stories. That guy, he's screaming at the top of his lungs right now. I'm not screaming, because he's only half of me. And he's currently being pinned down by the other wolf in a vicious fight for his life by the other side of me. That is more interested in, like, thematic and characters and how I relate to the characters and how, even if I don't relate to the characters, how I can, like, understand them and how they're being written. So, half of me wants to give this chapter worthiness because of the character writing in the middle, right? I do like that Sakamoto in this weird... See, that's the thing. Oh, you know what? Let me just be positive. Let me positive. I like that Sakamoto has a conversation with Rion's soul that allows him to understand the value of his connections and how they can only be used to strengthen him further rather than act as a weakness. Sure, they are a liability. Sure, they put the ones he cares about in danger. Sure, all that is complicated and devious and diabolical and dangerous. But I like that Rion, of all characters, someone who thematically parallels Sakamoto as a person who tried to live a regular life, but then dipped back into the assassin world, which is something that Sakamoto's been trying to avoid this entire time, made the wrong choice, and ultimately ended up paying for it and losing her life to Uzuki, and thusly, she is now being the guiding force that allows Sakamoto to come back and protect those that he cares about, come back and be the strongest he can be, come back and take care of that which he has gained in that regular life. He doesn't have to go back to being an assassin. He doesn't have to go back into being Hitman. He can use the strength that he gained in the regular world, combine it with his Hitman strength, and become the strongest being that there ever was. That thematically works. I like that. I like the human aspects of it. I like the importance and value of connection. I love the power of friendship. I love it. All right? Doesn't matter I'm an old man. I love the power of friendship. Give me more of it. No. I love that. That's all good. It's all great. My toes? I'm going to put my foot on camera. No, I'm not. But now that wolf has managed to howl its praises and its glazes, this makes absolutely no sense. This makes absolutely no sense. And I think, oh my god, like, but I want to give the chapter worthiness for that thematic writing. But it makes absolutely no sense. There's like, you're like, what doesn't make sense about a pencil man? You wouldn't. Is it the power scaling that doesn't make sense to you? No, the power scaling isn't even relevant for a majority of the chapter. It's only relevant here in the last second where, he blitzes and bites and blows through doors. Whatever, right? I like it, but fine. But it just doesn't make sense narratively. It doesn't make sense narratively. But Emily, that's more of the power scaling of it. Let me go into why it just doesn't make sense. What on earth happened? Sakamoto was, I guess, chilling in train stasis for however long he was knocked out. And then he was in purgatory, I guess, with Rion's soul, which is there for some reason, I suppose, that will never be explained, because I guess. And Rion's mystical, magical soul was able to communicate with Sakamoto's soul that was in purgatory, and then they had a conversation about stuff that Sakamoto kind of already learned and was kind of like pushing on the other members of the assassin world that he was already interacting with, the idea of the importance of connection that Sakamoto was already pushing, but Rion has to reteach him this lesson, kind of, sort of, I guess, and then somehow through this weird spiritual soul interaction thing, this weird soul, Astral Rion, manages to take care of his wounds, even though he was literally stabbed through the heart. I guess she just healed him, and the weird metaphysical spiritual bullet gave him 1 billion calories to thicken him back up, and now he's the strongest in the... I like the idea. The execution makes no sense. And that's why, in combination with the power scaling, I think I'm not going to give the chapter with this. See, that hurts. I don't want to... I'm literally live debating right now, bro. This review is not supposed to be this long. But, like, it makes no sense. Like, that's the thing. It makes no sense. It makes no sense, and not in the, like, I want to compare it to something, but that's such a massive spoiler for Magi. I don't want to go into it. But there is, no, you know what, there's animated Magi. There are massive, like, twists in Magi that happen. And then I'm like, what? But notably, on a reread of Magi, they're built up to, they're understood. And then, even after the build-up, they get retroactively explained after the fact, or get explained in the moment that they're happening, right? Like, all that makes sense. Sakamoto Days, the narrative without a power system, has never explained or even given the idea that this weird limbo astral purgatory thing exists. That Rion's soul has kind of just been chilling, waiting for Sakamoto to, I guess, be put in this scenario. It didn't explain how Sakamoto, by sleeping a whole bunch and then getting shot with what presumes to be a metaphorical spirit bullet, would give him 1 million different calories in a giga. Like this is almost 2 Kingdom Hearts. It's like 2 power friendship coded, where like it doesn't make any sense. And once again, it feels like Suzuki Sensei is insulting my intelligence by having Shin note the inconsistencies and why it makes no sense. Like, I'm sorry, it's bad writing. I'm always loath to say bad writing because I'm not a writer. I don't have a degree in writing. I'm not that guy. But it's bad writing. You can't hand wave stuff like this. You can't say, oh well, things logic. Power scaling is this isn't good narratively. You set up stakes for the character, and like always, Suzuki-sensei, whenever you set up stakes for the character, they never actually matter. The characters will always be perfectly strong enough, perfectly fast enough, with the perfect abilities and the perfect magical logic that allow them to get out of every situation that you put them in. I think that's the thing that gets me, right? We cannot, and this is coming from a guy who is working on his own narrative, you cannot set up a scenario that you make as the sole writer of your series, and then take the characters out of it for no reason. Or else it makes you wonder why you put them in that situation in the first place at all. It feels like a waste of time. It feels like you're playing with me. Once again, I think it's the idea. The reason I'm not giving the chapter worthiness, the reason I'm probably giving it like a 3 out of 10, is because it feels like Suzuki-sensei is playing in my face. He's half trying to say, oh, you're going to forget the very narrative and logic I set up in the narrative so far. Ooh. And he's playing in my face and being like, you're not going to question how he's fat again and how he got a magical spirit bullet and how he was pierced through the heart. And it's only been a few days, but now he's magically healed in the strongest of the earth. Like, he's playing in my face. And it's not funny. It's playing in my face, and it's not funny. So the chapter's not worthy. If you've been all the way through this video, sorry, this video is not meant to be this long. But why though? But no, not but why though? But how though? Can anyone explain this to me other than magical spirit bullet healing astral soul conversation leads to strongest in the verse fat man? If you can give me a better explanation than that, how this makes sense in the logic Sakamoto days up to this point and how everything works, please do in the comments, because I want it. But if you made it all the way through this video, please leave. But why though? Because that's how I'm feeling right now. But why? No, but not but why though. Not but why though. But how though? But how though? In the comment section down below. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that little notification bell so you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you do have a picture down below. You support me for as low as $1 a month. Get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. Also, now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month and get the same perks and more. Those perks include the live reactions to the series I happen to review, ad-free variations of all my videos, early ad-free access to all my videos, and by early access, I do mean like literally I record all these reviews like the day that they drop on Sunday. But then like I don't think the Sakamoto Days review is coming out until like Wednesday. So like, hey, you're a Patreon member, you're gonna get this pretty much immediately. Shout out to the Patreon members who are there. But speaking of shout outs to the Patreon members, you get your name listed at the end of every single video, and if you're a $3 patron or member or higher, you will also get your name read aloud at the end of every single video. So there's that perk as well. On top of that, you get early access to all the videos on the second channel. That guy with the reaction, where I post 45 minutes to like 2 hour plus reaction videos literally every single Saturday at 1 p.m. EST. You get early access to all those videos as well. And on top of that, if you just want to drop 5 beans or 25 beans for the one time to either support your boy and or to make a request for a short video or a long video, link to the Ko-Fi is in the description down below. But now, I want to thank you so much for watching, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that guy with the pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Redwolf 4765, Astro, Glacier XZ, Zera, Brandon Payne, J2MA, Yomi, Buddha Ura, Enzo, Swift Strike, Superflame Zero, Yuki Ally, Striker Man, Grim, Ollie, The Boy, Corey Watson, Damon Brown, Magic, CCC, Ramondo Furen, Dino, Heath Nelson, Hector Gonzalez, Black Sage, Tim Thomas, Alex Kenny, Kaving, Julian Perez, 8SOA, Akolade Babatunde, Union I, RXN, Nevis97, Sheesh King, Logan Guzman, Karina Hernandez, Window Life, Dead Meme, Karudir, Reina, Christian Carter, Jagoda, Keon Stewart, Donovan McIntosh, Sino King, Hamza Idrisi, BNA DNA, Edwin Igbinoba, Cyan, Straw, Cybersage 12, Athenzi Shear, Antavius Mitchell, Plant Crone, Azo2404, and Create Panem. Then, let me give a thank you to Artline Art Tier patrons: A+A, Kevin Encarnacion, Sean, Dreadzoen, and Norgazi Andasov. Then, let me give a thank you to our Ink Tier members: King RTX and Shrimpo the 4th Shrimp 06. And let me give a thank you to our Digital Art Tier members: J Warrior and AZ Void. And let me give a final thank you to our Colored Art Tier patrons: Walkie Munoz and Walkie Munoz.